Having conducted a target audience questionnaire, I found that 45% of the audience felt that the establishment of the location during the beginning is more important than the establishment of the characters. In attempts to adhere to the views of the audience, I included 2 establishing shots. This feature of location establishment being important during the beginning is conventional of the horror genre. There's a lot of emphasis on making the house look old and creepy in The Woman in Black, for example. By using an average house that anyone would be able to relate to, I have been able to offer uses and gratifications of diversion, but also personal relationships, as the target audience would be able to see themselves with their friends in similar locations, which equals the talking point for the socialite target audience. I've also been able to offer personal identity, as the target audience will be able to relate and identify with the lead characters due to similarities in socioeconomics. My use of diegetic sounds entices the audience with its familiarity. The main sound used was the blowing winds, which may not necessarily be a convention of the horror genre, but I feel as though using it made a big impact on the final production in enticing the audience. It brought the audio together and kept it continuous. Simple ambient noise will also allow the audience to identify with the scene better. These uses of audio were heavily emphasized during the focus group and peer assessment feedback for the first edit. There were far too many silences, and by having some form of sound in the background, I kept the audience interested. During the focus group, it was implied that the title font is appropriate, easy to read, and stands out. Intertitles do not interrupt or obstruct any action or event, which was typical of the 2 sets of titles which I had decided to analyze, the opening credits of The Purge and Seven. As a result, I made sure to follow this convention except at the end, as the lack of ability to see what happens during the last intertitle raises enigma codes and entices the audience further. There's also a sense of apprehension, rising tension, and the audience will hopefully be shocked by what the audio suggests is taking place during the main title. Anna suddenly becoming possessed also raises enigma codes. The initial relationship between her and the audience is broken down, and now the audience are made to reconstruct their perceptions of her, and thus adding to the complex narrative of an independent film. Other potential films my target audience would watch are Insidious and any others from the Paranormal Activity franchise, so using one of them as my inspiration and researching the other for conventions, I believe that I used my time successfully.